Hey y'all, so the videos that I'm about to put out this, I guess the end of this month, is some videos that I have had. They're like backdated videos and videos that explain stuff, and these are for the purposes of somebody who is supposed to have information about something, making sure that they get that information, and to know that this was out there so that it is protection of a sort. Now, as I've said in previous videos, y'all see stuff and it'll come off like it's mad messy, especially for the fact that it's like I don't put stuff out there like that, and the videos that I do put out there be like crafting videos and inspiration videos, motivation videos, healing videos, and stuff that's like on that type of time for posts. I'm not crazy, okay? I'm not out here doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sitting here putting out what I said a long time ago. They showing me something, and if it was something I was supposed to put out, I would. I don't do messy. And a lot of times this stuff, it come off, it's like mad messy. I like to focus on the positives and the solutions versus looking at the negatives, but sometimes the negatives has to be said so that when things change, the positives are understood why they are happening and why things are happening. Some of y'all who I picked up on and y'all know about me, y'all know what people have been doing, and y'all help, and I thank you for it. I've helped mad people. I don't talk about it and I don't put it out there for that to be the thing, but like even with your videos, a lot of people, they get helped by us putting out videos and them being able to get taught something or to go forward with something, to be able to feel better. It's like the changes that end up happening. But then you got people who don't want people to be like that. They don't want people to let go of stuff that don't serve them, so to speak. They want people to sit there and be stuck with stuff that's like something that'll haunt them, that'll have them trapped in something. And it's like sometimes you gotta speak so that the shit will stop, because a lot of times people like me who don't really do the messy, who don't really be sitting there like being mad out there with stuff that's happened to them, it could keep on happening and people could sit there and run narratives just because you don't even know that these things is happening. Now, in 22, when I was sitting here going and I was doing my classes and stuff like that, and I had decided to do my businesses, when things was changing for me, I was deciding if I wanted to talk about stuff that was spiritual, inspirational, and motivational stuff on my channel, this one, or that I want to keep going with my craft and stuff. And I was trying to keep it separate. But then because the people who knew about the stuff that went towards my name or knew me by name is why I had to put stuff on this channel, because it's the one that most people know me by. I made my names in the 90s. I had my website when I first bought it and had my website since 99, 2000. So it's like if something was associated with me and it was associated with my name, then those people who know me by said name would be the ones that would be seeing where I'm going with this, because everything has been, for the longest, it's been like that. Okay, I'm not putting stuff out there that's like, I guess it's like I'm about to say it's not weird, but it is weird. It's weird to me because this is stuff that I don't talk about. I pick up on stuff and then it goes to something, and then I would have to sit there and have everything be pieced together for me to be able to see where things are going. And a lot of times what I see is people doing a lot of stuff that has to do with theft, hurting people, distractions, things that is like things that would make people be hurt. And the reason why I pick up on stuff like this is because they show it to me. But it's also like I see those types of things. I'm not helping nobody who don't deserve to be helped no more. I'm not helping nobody who don't want to help themselves either. I'm not helping nobody who it's always an excuse. They don't do what they supposed to do. It just is. They got a lot of people out there who help people. There's a lot of people out there who do stuff in different ways. And just because we do classes, a lot of times y'all wouldn't even know how you are to somebody else until they tell you. I've said previously, like, when I started getting into crafting again, it was after I had my surgery. And I was going through it, but I was in my healing process, and it took me a long time to heal from it because I had major surgery. And for me, crafting was a changer for me. It wasn't like you don't do crafting stuff when you're younger, but it was just like I expanded myself to be able to do more. And then you got times in your life when something happens to you, then you end up expanding. So it's like, what do you talk about? And for me, I took crafting and the things that I was loving to do with crafting as that thing I wanted to use as being inspirational. But I didn't really want to sit there and talk about the stuff that I've been through that have to be a reason as to why somebody should look into crafting, but just talk to those people who was interested in creating and crafting. That's the simplest way of putting this. A lot of people have different reasons why they do what they do. But most people, you don't think that they would have mental issues and they be trying to steal other people's lives. And they be trying to do stuff to break and destroy people's lives. But people be sitting here feeling like they have a right to do something that they don't have a right to do. And I didn't want to sit here and flood all of my stuff, all of my work that I've done with messy stuff. I've had YouTube since YouTube started. I had Google when Google was in experimental mode. I'm still trying to figure out how people get into your stuff when you have two-step authentication, you don't put yourself out there, all these things, because they just have these people who be these tech savvy hacker people who think they hidden, and they keep doing stuff over and over again till you put their stuff out there. And you would think that they would stop, but they don't. They just keep coming at you in different ways, or they get new people, or people get these people to do stuff to you because they feel like they'll get something with whatever they're doing. A lot of people don't know what people go through. And I said that when I was talking about the video in 23, what I was saying how if the only thing you could do to calm yourself down was to get your kids' coloring book and crayons and then just color. And just let this be a thing that was like, in a way, it would ground you. Just take your mind off of stuff for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however. It'll put you back into a state, and then it'll make you feel better. And it's like, I've had to do that a lot. Not just sitting here talking about coloring, even though I showed you coloring books and pencils and markers and all these other things. But it's just the fact that it's like having to calm down. And right now, a lot of stuff is all over the place, and it feels very chaotic and stuff. But you have your thing that you do that will make you feel better. Hopefully it's something that's healthy. Most of the time I promote stuff that's healthy versus promoting stuff that would be unhealthy. But that's just me. I wanted to say this because I didn't want it to be like a misunderstanding where it comes to me and my work and what I have. But I'm talking about stuff that's been going on for years, that I have literally been working on and through in years while I work on other things. And it's like, to those people who this information needed to go to, and including the feds, including police, including those people, it's like these records are to let it be known about stuff that's happened, because they wouldn't know that people have been stalking you. They wouldn't know that people have been colluding against you. They wouldn't know that people would have been doing stuff to you if you never say anything. And sometimes it's like they be screaming, like, put the story out there, say something, do something, because you're saying something is going to help the next person so that they have the courage to put their thing out there if they do. And while people think that these things be messy and that they're entertainment, they're not, because this is your real life. You might not be living this life instances right now. They might have been something that happened in the past. Yesterday is the past. 5 minutes ago is the past. 5 years ago was the past. But these people try to bring stuff back up over and over again so that you would be stuck in whatever that is. And then you wouldn't even know that sometimes saying something, acknowledging it, and then doing something to get out of it, breaking it, is what's necessary so that you don't end up having to do the same thing over and over again. And they will sit there and try to say stuff about spiritual people versus it being something like in a negative way, when not everybody is doing something in a negative way just because they're spiritual. Because while I won't tell y'all to look at the things that I'm put out and I post, even though I'm led to put it out there for a reason, that it's for everybody, but it's something that you would use as a reference if and when you feel like it's something that needs to be used for something. And there's billions of people on this planet. I don't know who it goes to when I get something that's like it's supposed to go to somebody. I just know that it's like this could help somebody. Somebody needed to know this. This will help somebody. Somebody needed to know that. And then I put it out there because it could be like, yo, keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this. If I put out the videos of breaking down stuff, of which I probably will, that explains what people have been doing and how I've seen stuff for so long, like how things have been going, you will understand better about what I'm talking about, but also understand I'm processing as things are happening too. And there's a lot of things that are changing at the same time as these things are going on. So it's like I do what I can within the time frames that I have, but I'm always doing stuff. And I still haven't decided that I want my channel to be going more towards me talking about these things unless they are pushing me for it to happen, where I want to talk about creative stuff, because that's what I do. But for the fact that I have had to deal with people stealing stuff from me and identity theft and stuff like that, these things have to be done underneath my name, my moniker, because this is how people know me. And I was trying to put it on my other sites that I have, but they won't get the same views because people don't know them as me as this one. Just saying. I don't apologize for putting my truth out there as it needs to be put out there, that they want me to put it out there. I don't like the fact that I've had to be hurt or other people have to be hurt because of people's greed and people doing things. So anybody who was taken advantage of by people doing stuff underneath my name, I suggest you go for those people. And the things that I talk about that have happened to me, they really, real life happened to me. I'm not making it up. I may not talk about everything because it's not like I'm trying to make my life be entertainment for those people to relive the stuff that they had put me through, because they cruel ass people. And these people don't have no care when they're doing stuff. They only care when they got something going back on them and them getting caught up for what they've been doing. And the fact that I had to go to the feds for this shit, the feds is like, yo, that's a whole thing right there. But the things that I've been talking about, they are real. And if it helps somebody to know the stuff that I've been through so that you don't go through the same thing, I'm glad that it helps you. And there's a lot of people who are intuitive, a lot of people who are coming online, a lot of people who are seeing stuff, a lot of people who's getting information and stuff right now, being awakened to things, and they like, yo, they didn't even think that this could happen to them. It's true. You start saying something and then other people start realizing the same thing is happening to them, so they be aware. I hope that last year when I was talking about people thinking about their work and their videos, even though there's a lot of times we supposed to be safe under guidelines, community guidelines and stuff. When is it enforced? How is it enforced? And if we got to get the cops involved, we got to make sure we actually getting the real cops involved, and it's not going to people who just sitting here play. Oh, I help you. Don't worry, I got you. People. I went and put in stuff to the cops, to the feds. Like, that's where I'm at with it. And these people be doing stuff in many ways. And at this point, it's like, yo, I'm tired of the stupid shit. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be there. But also, is the more that I sit there and I be thinking, like, with some of this stuff, it'll get better and stop. It's like, how's it going to get better and stop if you don't sit there and say something or do something as well? Because it doesn't just go away. Some things do. But you are literally sitting there hoping that somebody gets tired of doing something to you because they don't want nobody to do nothing to them. And then if you do something to them, then they want to cry about it. So I'm curious to see how many people is going to sit there and say I was doing something to them or something. It's your fault that this happened. It's your fault that that happened, when they were the ones and the reasons why they was doing these things. And if you listen to my videos, the people who I'm talking about, I'm describing, I should say, I don't know these people. I could name off or describe mad people and situations and stuff that I've seen or come across or anything like that, and I still wouldn't know who these people are unless I seen them do something. It just so happened that a lot of the people that I was seeing, they didn't tell me who these people were. And it's those ones that I do know of, it's like, you'll never talk to me again. You shouldn't expect to talk to me again. And those ones that was helping people do stuff, well, like I said, people do a lot. And when they're doing it, they think it's funny and they think that they winning and everything is all gravy when they're doing it. When they causing people to have heartbreaks. When they causing people to have pain. When they sitting there and they doing stuff to make people quote unquote suffer. Because they got mad for a minute. And they take money so that they could bribe you, hold your shit hostage, and try to extort you. And all these different things because they feel like they know what you're going to get or what you have or what's going to come to you, and they want a piece of it. And I decided from 22, you wasn't going to take and play with what I love. And in 23, when I started saying that I was going to sue you, and they was coming up with more things since 22, but before then, from 22, when they was sitting there coming up with these plans on how to extort me or to bribe me, all the way up until now, people hiring people to do all these different things to me, it's like you just made my case so much sweeter. And when I find out who these people are who started all this stuff, I want you under the jail, and I want laws to be passed so that this shit don't ever happen again. Ever. To people who don't deserve it, at least. It's like, yo, people like to use the things that happen to other people as a case for them to have to say that, oh, this happened to this person, this shit happened to them. No. The circumstances are not the same for everybody. So let's be clear about that before somebody sit here and be like they want to try to play the victim for something that they've done. Because people sitting there stealing your work, hacking your house, your Wi-Fi, attempting to poison you and your pets and stuff like that, I don't think that's funny. But I just didn't go into all details when I was sitting here saying things that people were doing stuff to me then, because I was trying to figure out who was doing this so that I could give it to the cops. I was trying to figure out where this shit was coming from so I could give it to the feds. And I thought this year when I came out and I showed myself and I said, look, to be sure, people knew that this was me, that these things was happening, that this would help me to get the information that I needed so that I could give this to them so that they could put a stop to it. So if there is anybody in the Justice Department or who works for the Department of Justice who has been not working on the case, tell me what your name is where you thought that this was a funny little thing or this was just a bypass or a game. Tell me where you thinking, where people are sitting here and they are just abusing and being all weird and stuff, that it's something that is like, oh, well, you must have done something. Because a lot of times, if I'm picking up, is that people was sitting there thinking it was like you was doing something to somebody, or they wanted somebody to do something to you because they thought they was going to get something from it. And ain't nobody getting shit from me. Especially if I ain't sit here and say I was giving you anything. So how is somebody sitting here going to force you to give them something? Oh, they're going to hold your shit hostage so that they could have it. And if things was being done to prevent things happening from 22, then it wouldn't have been going on to 24, 25, 26. But y'all gonna get y'all's though. I would tell y'all what I saw where I was sitting there trying to help people to not have stuff happen. I don't know what y'all getting now because of all the stuff that's happened. But I'm gonna say that for me, I'm suing you. And anybody who sat there and you was all about trying to destroy my life, and you was all about trying to make me be hiding somewhere and be like all these other things, I'm telling you now, I am suing you. People who was like they wanted to be inspirational, you have a story of your own. You don't take somebody else's story. You don't sit there and try to copy somebody else's life. You don't sit there and try to be somebody else. But the things that I have been throughout my life, when I said that I was a survivor and stuff, and then having to go through all these other things that I had to survive from, and people sitting there being like they thought that was like, oh, they wanted to be seen as something. They wanted to be, no. People want to be in other people's shoes until they have to be in people's shoes. And then when you in somebody's shoes, you think it's, oh, it's not fair, it's too much, you can't handle it. But you want to have something. I don't think so. Yet again, I know this shit come off like it's messy, because it has been messy, but this is years worth of shit, and then I'm compiling it into short videos where I'm putting out the facts about something so that those people who needed to know the facts so they could have stuff get fixed and done can have that done. And I really, really, really wanted my page to just be about crafting stuff and inspirational stuff. And in a sense, I could see this as being inspirational because then people will tell their stories and they won't be letting anybody make them not tell their story. Because it's like you saving the abuser by not saying something. You ever think about it that way? A lot of times we sit here and we don't say something because we are thinking about how we are saving ourselves. But another way of looking at it is the more you don't say something, the more that the abuser gets to stay abusing. The more you don't say something, those people who you don't say something, they go to the next person and they get targeted. They get victimized. It make you feel away because it's like, yo, that person should have been in jail. So the next person don't have to go through this shit that that person did to them. And that's really a thing. Really is a thing. Lady, y'all.